Hi, everyone. So this is what happens when I don't know what happens on YouTube, and I hope you guys can find me. I was not getting any kind of chat, and I wanted to see the chat, because if I can't see the chat, then I don't know how to interact with any of you. So hello and welcome. This is a show on the power of vulnerability, and I see a couple people are coming into the room. Please send me a little notification so that I know that you can see me and hear me. Oh my goodness. I probably need to have a tech advisor. Yes, it works now. Hello from Italy. Michelle. Hello. Hello, my dear. Hey, yes, we've all had tech issues. Yes, thank you so much. Mary Jane, hi from Toronto. Rosanna, ciao. Listen, ladies, thank you so much for this quick readjustment. I did it several times. I don't know why I couldn't see the chat coming up. Oh, Jan, how are you doing, my dear? Very nice to hear from you. Many of you are writing me privately. It is my great pleasure to get to know you personally. Thomas, hello, my dear. How are you doing? Oh, I've got my wonderful guys here. Okay, Bentley, hi from Iowa. How are you doing? I'm from Minnesota. Thank you so much, all of you who are migrating over here, and I'm terribly sorry. I don't know what happened. Hi from the UK, Brian. So I'm Susan Winter, for those of you who are just tuning in. And I didn't have the chat feature working. I tried many times. And in these live shows, the point is to talk to you and to answer your questions. So today we are talking about the power of vulnerability. Now, you guys who know me, you know I don't like using that word. I realize Brene Brown has made an entire career and massive fame for herself in talking about vulnerability. But what you might notice is that she has twisted and shifted our perception of that word. And I will put it in my language, and I will reframe it for those of you who are asking, because thank you everyone who's writing in here. Okay, good. The group is here. Hi, yes, it's working. Hi, Noelle. Hi, how are you? Brian, B, Big J, hello from Alabama. Let's see, my dear girlfriend lives in Alabama now. Okay, Drea from New York City. Yep, we're here in the hood. I'm in Hell's Kitchen today. So listen, I am answering Anna's question. And Anna, I don't know if you're watching today, but I do take my cues from all of you as to what you'd like to hear about. So feel free to write in the comment box or write in these live videos what you'd like me to talk about next. So Anna has written, I've been hearing a lot about vulnerability lately and how you need to be vulnerable in order to make a relationship work. But what does this mean in practical terms? What do I need to do to be vulnerable? I must admit, I really don't understand what this means and how to implement this in real life. So Anna, I hope you're listening today. Here is what I understand vulnerability to mean. When people refer, not me, other people refer to vulnerability, they are asking you to show up. They are asking you to drop the mask and reveal yourself. They are asking you to expose all of who you are to a person. That is what we call intimacy. My interpretation of this, I don't like the word vulnerability at all. You don't hear me use it. I'm only addressing it here because Anna asked for it, and I'm here at your service. Vulnerability to me is a weakness, as it is to all of you. And so that's why people rail at the concept. Vulnerable means to me to be a turtle on your back that can't fight its way from the clawing paw of a tiger or something. You've like no chance, got no chance. Nobody wants to be hurt in love. Nobody wants to be rejected. Nobody wants to be controlled, and nobody wants to be used. We understand that. So we come in to love and romance with our guard up and vigilantly protecting our ego and looking and assessing, how can we be in control? How can we gain the upper hand? I look at the videos that I do and things like, how to regain your power after a breakup, or how to gain the upper hand. I mean, the clicks are monstrous because we all want to preserve our ego and feel a sense of control in love, where we have no control over another person. So in all the work I do with all of you, the best I can ever do is to set you up to present yourself in the best possible light and give you the tools you need to be the best version of yourself as a capable partner in a relationship. I cannot guarantee you love. Nobody can. None of our dating coaches can. Even the people that try and jam themselves in here, the spellcasters, and I know somebody who can help you, and I get them out as soon as I see them. But nobody can do that. But what we can do is set you up to take care of yourself. And part of that is resilience. The resilience, this is one of the factors that I want to talk about today. And it is about a twist on the word vulnerable. I like the term direct. I like the empowerment of having the ability to show up, to be present. You all understand the tension of a new relationship when you're going back and forth and they sent you a text and how long do you wait? Because they took 3.5 hours to text you back. So now you're going to wait 6 or maybe a day to show them that they're not that important. I mean, this self-editing, monitoring, pacing, all these external factors, we do that to protect our delicate ego, to try not to lose. So I would ask you all to take an overview of love in a completely different direction. I would ask you to look at it philosophically, because love is a risk. To take the journey of love is a risk. It is a high risk investment. It is an extreme sport. So please don't fool yourself and tell yourself you will never get a scrape or a cut. We do not want to be the person lying on our deathbed and goes, oh, I never fell in love, because you never felt anything. Okay, so those of you who have been madly in love with somebody, crying as you may have been through most of this relationship, you were alive. You got to feel. See, when we're in control 100% and we're not invested, we can't feel. You can't feel the joy of love. You can't feel that exquisite sensation because you're not allowing yourself to do it. You're just pacing yourself, enjoying the fact that you're in control. It's a totally different thing. What I'd like you to do is understand that the real power in vulnerability is the willingness to accept the totality of love. And the totality means the up and the down, the good and the bad. I jumped off the cliff. I did it. Good for me. We have a super chat question. If you don't know what super chat is, this is from Rosanna. Rosanna, thank you. This is where you guys get to ask a question that Susie will definitely see, even with my glasses on. Rosanna writes, I'm feeling lazy to date. Preaching to the choir. Okay. I prefer dates where my mind stays busy, like activities, arcade, shopping. I guess it would be nice to hear tips on keeping a calendar encouraging to go on dates. Be very specific in your dates. This is off topic, but it's cool because it came in and I decided to read it. If you know where you shine, then take your dates where you shine. So what's happening for you, actually, this is kind of on topic, Rosanna. You're keeping your mind busy, so you're not editing yourself. You're looking at something else rather than looking into your date's eyes and wondering if they care for you. So this is good. You have found a way to make yourself feel comfortable, and you found a way to have a good time while you're on a date. I don't know that you're lazy. I think you've found a formula that works. And I think you've found a system that allows you to think of something else. And therefore, it alleviates stress. And I think it's brilliant. It's always been an odd choice of a date. And I know a lot of guys do this. For the second or third date, they will choose a movie. And I think that's nice to go out to a movie, but you don't talk. And for a first date, it's kind of nice, but you really don't get a chance to interact with the person. So I'm not sure how vulnerable that is. But I'm more than willing to answer all of your questions, and I want to read this, but I want to just get back to you, everyone. This thing about vulnerability, embracing the totality of love. What I mean by that is having the courage, having the balls to take the ride. It may look like vulnerability, but it's asking you to be present and to show up. That is the art. That is the juice. And this is what we are trying to do. I don't want you to be weak and flailing your arms around and at the whim of somebody else's messing about with you. I would like you to make a proactive decision that you have decided, because you know you trust yourself and you have confidence, to enter this game, this love terrain, and go explore. Take the adventure. It is adventurous. And you reveal who you are, because who you are is fine. And if they can't handle who you are, you would rather know sooner rather than later. There is nothing worse. And those of you who've dated, you know this. You fell in love with them in the first 3 months. Oh my God, they were fabulous. And then suddenly you realize they are nothing like that. They don't do the things they told you they did. They don't believe the things. They don't like the movies you like. They tried to be somebody for you to gain your approval, but you don't like them. Now, that was a waste of everybody's time. Okay, better yet, just be yourself. Let me go back to some of these. Oh, Amanda, how'd you know it was my birthday? That is so cool. I don't know how you guys know that. Thank you very much. Valeria, I'm La Bambina. I'm scared to be vulnerable because all guys seem to decline second dates. Well, I'd really like to work with you. I'd like to see what you're doing on the first date. Are you opening up? You got to give them conversation. And if you're in an environment, well, the one gal, she really likes activities, but I need to talk. I know that for me. If I can't talk to a man, I've got this, I think he's a lovely man, but he will not talk. And I can't get to know him, so I'm at a stalemate, so I have to evacuate. I can only say so many times, I need to talk. I need to get to know you. Do you do phone? No, you don't do phone. Can't get to know you on text. I can get to know where to meet you, what time and location on text. I can't know anything about you on texting. I'm too tired. At the end of the day, I don't want to do that. So I know what I need. You know what you need. And I don't know why you're not getting to second dates. Depam. First date should be short, 1 hour or less. I agree. Coffee or tea, no alcohol. I agree. No expensive meal. Short in case you need to leave. Absolutely. I have some more things to say. It's her birthday. How do you guys know it's my birthday? This is so crazy. I tamed myself when it comes to relationships. I don't fall in love. Other peeps are not important. The only person who matters is myself. Okay, halfway there. And if a girl I want to break up or leave, I'm okay, babe. May I be honest? It sounds a little defensive. I think you're on your way, but you know, really having real faith in yourself means you can trip and fall in front of somebody and just go, oops, whatever. So real confidence and high self-esteem allow you to show who you are. This is why so many people rail at me when I tell them, say at least, like the relationship isn't going, you think you want to bail, you're giving them one last chance. I beg them. I write the script for them. I beg them to send something like, look, I'm trying so hard to connect with you and it just doesn't seem like it's happening. Or I'm sorry to hear that you've chosen somebody else. I really wish it would have been me. Thank you for telling me. I really did like you. I wish you well. I never, ever, ever want to leave it unspoken and unstated because they need to know what happened. I need the closure. I need to say what happened. They need to know why it ended. I think there's something else up here. M for 499. Miguel. Hello, Miguel. How are you doing? I'm in love with an older woman, and I think she is too, but we work together and can't. Boy, how vulnerable should I be? I want to be honest. Okay. Now, you have to follow your HR policy. We are in a time, I'm shooting this during COVID. Anybody that has a job is lucky to have one. You got to think long-term. Your financial survival right now is a little more important than your romance, just in your case. Do you talk to her? Have you introduced yourself to her? I'm not talking about flirtation across the room. There's nothing wrong with walking up and formally introducing yourself to somebody. I've done that to numerous guys in the gym. They keep looking at me. It's like, dude, make a move. They don't make a move. I walk up and I say, hi. How are you? I'm Susan. I've seen you here before, and I don't think we've ever been formally introduced. I know, it's old school. I'm old school. I don't care. It works for me. I'd rather err to formality and politeness and proper protocol than not at all. So I would go up and introduce yourself. If you can, talk to her, but make sure that you know exactly what the ruling is in your HR manual, because it's not worth losing your job over. Okay? One, clear that for sure. Okay? And then why do you love her or like her? You see, you've got a fantasy about her. You don't even know her yet. And this is what Jan would call fantasy bonds, right, Jan? Okay, thank you very much, Miguel. And just so you know, all this money goes to my movies and all the things that I'm doing for you guys. That's extra stuff to keep it interesting. Okay, Jan, just talking about you. Here you are, 100. Thank you, my dear. I jumped off a cliff and almost died inside. Now I'm very picky. How can vulnerability be a powerful thing without being a pushover or desperate? Perfect, Jan. Thank you, because this is the crux of the entire conversation. I hate roller coasters. AWW, happy birthday. You guys, how did you know it's my birthday? What did they tell you it's my birthday? It's my birthday tomorrow, but I don't know how people know. This is amazing. Okay, so this is it. Good. You let yourself go with wild abandon. You fell in love. You pulled yourself back. I think we've talked about this. You've now reformulated. Okay. How can vulnerability be a powerful thing without being a pushover or desperate? Vulnerability does not mean I'm weak and at your command. To me, this is my version. If you're following Renee Brown, she may say something differently. You're asking me, I'll tell you my take on it. Mine is a willingness to participate. Mine is the inner trust that I can afford to take this ride because I think that I can regroup. I think the risk is worth it for me to explore. It doesn't mean, vulnerability doesn't mean do what you want to me. Vulnerability does not mean you get to abuse me. Vulnerability does not mean, oh, I will allow myself to be manipulated and lied to. No, not at all. Vulnerability only means I am willing to show you who I am. The vulnerability piece is that when you see the real me, you may not like it because I'm going to show you both sides. So if you don't like it, you are going to find out anyway. And I'd prefer that you like it, but if you don't, I can survive. So vulnerability does not mean you give up your sense of self or your boundaries. Vulnerability simply is the generic willingness to participate, the generic willingness to show up, the generic willingness to see and look and investigate. That's it. We never, ever, ever let people abuse us. Ever. That's not the goal. That's weakness with no purpose. Okay? This is why I hate the word and I never use it. I use the word direct. I like to be direct. You guys, this is probably a dispositional thing. There are schools of thought that really disagree with me. There are certain women who prefer to be mysterious. And God bless them, they're beautiful. They're elusive, mysterious, you can never get a hold of them, you don't know where you stand with them. I really just don't have time. I'm really busy. I've got a lot of things I want to do and achieve, and the last thing I've got time to do is to diddle around and fool you, because I think it's enough of a challenge to know my truth and try and articulate that and have you respond. That's enough of a challenge for me. Maybe I'm simple. I don't know. It just seems to me like the real challenge is in the loving. The real challenge is in the being together. The real challenge is in showing you who I am, not who I want you to be. The women that I know that are elusive and mysterious are always the perfection. They're the goddess, the siren. They can never have a pimple, you guys. They can never gain 5 pounds. They can never get old. They can never have a bad day. They can never have dirty hair. They can never have a chapped nose from having a cold. They have to hide in their house because they're perfect. They're perfect. I don't have time to be perfect because I can't be perfect. And I just give up on that. I do my best, right? I hope that helps you. Okay, thank you so much, Jan. Okay, let's see. Rosanna, again, how to feel courageous if the person I want to take on a date doesn't seem too flattered by me, but is interested in going out, I guess, my insecurities. If you've asked somebody out and she doesn't want to go out with you, or he doesn't want to go out with you, don't keep pushing. You know, you were already courageous enough and vulnerable enough, in Susan's words, direct enough and proactive enough to ask them out. And if they don't seem interested, move on. You know, we're not trying to sell ourselves. We're not the last remnant pieces on a table of dirty cloth we have to get rid of. Yeah, I mean, you're not this bargain basement at Macy's. That was a big thing. When I first came to New York, Macy's had a bargain basement that people would go down to, and everything they couldn't sell, you know, before online was a thing, right? They would just sell in these bargain basements, and people, you know, that were on a very tight budget would go and fight over the last pieces of thing, and some things would get left on the table. And so therefore, you know, the remnant pieces left on the table. But vulnerability, so people use the word vulnerability. I do not. The concept behind all this is the power of showing up and being who you are. It's powerful in and of itself. That is the power. The power is the willingness to participate. The power is in the fact that you get on that ride, you put on that seatbelt, you've strapped yourself in, and you're going to go. And you can handle it because you trust yourself. Okay. Let's see. We have something else now. Oh, Jan, thank you. 50. Thank you. Thank you. We love you. So we simply know it's your birthday. I don't know how you know this. I know this is unique for everyone, but a video idea, how to set boundaries and not be vulnerable. Okay, how about, I really have to clear this up with you. How about just to set boundaries? What are boundaries and what are appropriate boundaries? So I'm going to write this down. So somehow there seems to be confusion here, Jan, maybe in the way people have explained it to you, or maybe the way I'm explaining it to you. But you set a boundary for how you want to be treated. And if they violate that, that's improper and they need to be called out. For example, I turn off my phone at 8 o'clock at night because I'm done. And any problem you have can wait until the morning. I've only been able to do this in the last 5 or 6 years of my life. When my mother had died 10 years ago, then I could do it. But I've started to do that to allow myself time to decompress because I have a lot of stuff going on. So that's a boundary. People know this about me. It doesn't mean I won't talk to you. Doesn't mean I won't turn it on to 10 o'clock if I'm chatting with you. I have a boundary around, like personally, I don't like people inviting themselves to my home in Arizona. You don't get to invite yourself to my home. If I want you to come to my home, I will invite you. And I had a girl that said to me once, so when am I coming to your house? And before I could stop, my head said it before my mouth just went, when you get an invitation. Yeah, I couldn't believe it came out. I'm a nice person, but she so irritated me because she was an opportunist. And I was only there to make her look good. She's the kind of person that calls everybody, when it's like May and they have a home in the Hamptons. She doesn't talk to them all year round, but May, she may want to go out to the Hamptons. So she starts chatting them up. A person should never override your boundaries. And I think for you, Jan, you need to put down the qualities that you are looking for in a person. And for your boundaries, you must put down the ideas or the things that you need them to honor about you. Meaning, I can be honest with you and I can be giving, and I will be generous, but don't expect and don't abuse. See these kinds of twists? So I'd like to actually work with you a little bit on this because I'd like to know what they are specifically for you. And thank you. And I still don't know how you guys know it's my birthday tomorrow. Okay. Wendy J, 15. Thank you so much, my dear. Susan, I'm a spiritual coach. Welcome, welcome. Glad to have you in the community. And I find myself referencing, recommending, and referring to your content all the time. Oh my God, I love you. You got to write me privately. Write media@susanwinter.net, Wendy J, and let me know about this so we can talk. Have you thought about training people to be relationship coaches? Oh my goodness. You know, I had a company come to me years ago, and Lauren, my media director, was on the call. Lauren protects me from myself because I tend to say yes to everybody, and I don't think about money, and I don't think about what end result. And they wanted me to make mini me's. I wouldn't do that to you. You have your own voice. You have your own calling. If what I say helps you, super. Maybe in time, I don't know, maybe if I semi-retire or something, it is your gift to share. If something I say sparks something in you, I want you to share your version, okay? I want Wendy's voice to be there, unique. One thing I can tell you is I don't pay attention to anybody else. I have no idea what my colleagues are doing half the time. I don't even know who my colleagues are. Does that make my things unique? Perhaps, because it's kind of shot like this. I have a perspective. It's the way I observe life. And if it sounds different, it's because I really don't copy. I don't go in and look at, oh, what's the number one hit video today? Like, what's the topic so that I can get lots of hits? I kind of answer things I think are unique. I've got over 520 videos. Some of them are really precise. And they were questions, it's like, wow, I've never heard anybody talk about this. I want to talk about this. But if you're a spiritual coach and you can weave that into the relationship advice, that is awesome. You know, it is enough of a life task for us to be self-actualized, to discover our truth. It is another task to share that truth honestly with another human being. And it is a third level of competence to be able to merge those two lives together. That's what we're trying to do. But you are absolutely beautiful. Please, Wendy J, please write me, media@susanwinter.net. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you very much for your contribution, and we'll talk. We'll talk, okay? All right, let's see. What else do we have here? Hi, Mona C. How are you doing? Valerie Wolf said, hello, Susan. I love your live chat. Vulnerability sounds complex, but also simple. So let us not confuse. There is the world's version of vulnerability. There is my version of vulnerability. My version is being direct, proactive, taking the journey, and knowing that you are resilient and strong enough to know where your boundaries are and who you are, and you participate. And according to Jan and everybody else, vulnerability does not mean you give up your desires. It doesn't mean you become mute as to what's happening in the relationship. Vulnerability doesn't mean you let them 100% steer the relationship. It doesn't mean you don't have input. Of course you have input. In every relationship, we want to be co-partnering. It's kind of like a car that's got two steering wheels, or at least we want to be in an agreement with, okay, honey, you're driving here. Okay, that's great. I'd like to go there too. Wait, I want to take a right. You don't want to take a right? Why? I'd really like to do that. Why? You want to take the left? Okay, I'll tell you what, I'll give you that, but then can we go back? Okay, if you take your left, can I get my right? Got it. Negotiation. It's easy. Okay, let's see, what else do we have here? Gwyneth, thank you. Happy birthday. Oh, your hair, my hair looks fab. I washed it. It's amazing. I washed it, it looks better. Wendy J, thank you, my darling. Again, okay, thank you. I appreciate you so much. I want to talk to you. We need to have a conversation. Thank you, my dear. Okay, Thomas, my dear handsome man. Okay, so can we say being vulnerable has more to do with steadily opening up, sharing thoughts, feelings, joys, fears, hopes, dreams, connecting to each other on the emotional level, deepening the trust? Yes! Okay, any of you, if I didn't explain myself, read Thomas Sally. He has just described what true vulnerability is. It means, hey, look it. When people are confident, when people believe in themselves, they don't mind having a quirk. They don't mind showing you what they think, what they feel. When we are on somebody else's game board, we are terrified of taking any move that isn't in alignment with them. We never want to be in that position. I'd like all of you to be empowered enough to go out, speak your mind, be yourself, show up, interact as the real you. That is what I look at as a willingness to participate. Yes, and I'm going to read this again. Thomas, you're so brilliant. I can't believe you paid me to say this, because this is fabulous. Steadily opening up, sharing thoughts, feelings, joys, fears, hopes, dreams, connecting to each other on emotional levels, deepening the trust. Yes. Now, you brought up a good point. Let's talk about trust, okay? Because this is part of vulnerability. We have to trust a little in order to enter. In the beginning, you don't know this person. You think you do. You want to, your mind will fill in the rest. Your mind will fill in that dream of what you want them to be. We know this. We have to take the leap. We take the leap in faith and in, hoping that something is there. When I say take the leap, it doesn't mean we abandon ourselves in the process, but we investigate this person. We allow ourselves to feel. We allow ourselves to have hope. We allow ourselves to enter with a positive or even just a positive neutral attitude. We trust initially that what our partner says is true, unless we have conclusive evidence or a vibe or a gut feeling that says that we can't trust them. Believe me, things start to rack up. Maybe not in the first meeting. Maybe you go home and you think about it and you think, I still don't know what they do. Why is it that I don't know what they do? What are they not telling me? Why can't they just answer me on this? Or that was kind of a funny thing, the way they kept talking about their ex. Starting to think they really might not be over. Maybe that's something I have to ask them if we have a second date. So just understand that by the sheer nature of dating in general, it starts with a level of blind faith. You jump off the cliff, but it's a little cliff because you don't know them that well, right? It's not a cliff like Jan had. It's a step stool, and you land. You've taken the plunge, right? And you investigate, okay? So that's great. Fantastic. Now let's see. Okay, Wendy, you did yours. Did I miss anybody? Okay, if I missed anybody, I will get back to you. Let's see. Lazy to date. We've got this. Okay. Leap of taking the risk, Patrick. Okay. Happy birthday, Susan. Aloha, Jess. Thank you so much for creating this channel. You've opened my eyes so much about the inner needed to have better relationships with the people I choose to have in my life. Thank you. I love the word. Thank you so much. Aloha. The people I choose to have in my life. That's powerful, right? Accepting my flaws is difficult. Yeah, me too. Accepting mine. I don't like it. You guys, it's my birthday. I noticed this weird thing. I keep getting older. Not crazy about it. That's one of my flaws. What am I going to do, right? Okay, Susan, Spider-Man. I was vulnerable and trusted my girlfriend. She took advantage of me and cheated. Okay, I left her. I feel stupid for being vulnerable, and my anger makes me think, how dare she, after all that I have done. Okay, you had what we call a hurtful relationship. You loved somebody and trusted somebody who was untrustworthy. Now, rather than being angry, because that's going to fester inside you, we'd really like to resolve these kinds of things. Don't beat yourself up for having tried. There's no prize given for the people sitting in the bleachers, all right? And you don't want to go through your life having never participated. This is real juice, you guys. Best case scenario, dating and falling in love is 1,000 times more effective than going to the therapist. You want to know who you are, you're going to figure it all out. But I want you to understand that if you first of all, you think you're mad at her. Here's the part that really sucks. Wait till you realize you're actually mad at yourself. And when you get to that point, you're actually almost into the part where you're going to start healing. We have to show up and trust to be there. But I think if you review this, and I'd like you to take some time, take a notebook, get out your iPad, do whatever. I'd like you to really think about where were the red flags and where were the things that I kind of went, and then I just blew them off because maybe you saw what you wanted to see. If you look at how the partnership disintegrated, you will probably find that there were clues that she gave you. There may have been things that she said, like, I need you to see you more often, or I need more space, or I don't know that I feel that attracted, or I'm not sure if I want to be in a relationship, or she kept talking about Jim at work. So there were probably indicators long before this happened. I'm sorry, she was a coward. It is far better to know that you want to be with somebody and leave the person you're with cleanly and to go investigate this new person than it is to keep the existing person, you, as a safety net, go cheat on the other person, say, I think I have a shot over here, so now I'll dump him. And I'm sorry for your experience, but you're going to live. I promise you. We've all been hurt over and over. And by the way, you know how resilience is built? It's not built by never falling down. Resilience is built by falling down and knowing you can get back up. So please get up, start all over again, go back to the drawing board, do a review, forensic review of everything that happened, where you could have been better, where you could have seen the signs, and then choose somebody who's really invested in partnership, who really believes in honesty and has had a history of being faithful. Okay, that helps. 10 pounds. Okay, Gwyneth. Hi, Gwyneth. How are you doing? Thank you very much for the help you gave me the other day when you replied to my comment on emotional opportunist. Okay, you were that person. Okay, wonderful, because the names aren't always the same. Thank you. You helped me more than you know, felt my own energy surge into me, and my creativity is overflowing. Honey, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh my God, this is so beautiful. I really love it, because everybody's got different names. So I don't know your real name. Sometimes I know your real name and I know your code name here, and then Instagram, I got no idea who people are. So it's really lovely, and I'm so grateful. I really, really do appreciate this. I had witnessed this emotional opportunist with one of my clients, and he's the nicest guy. And ladies, those of you out there who feel disillusioned and you keep hearing from your girlfriends they're no good guys, the men that come to me, and by the way, the men for the best worst date, 99% of the people that entered to get a second chance were men. I only had a couple women. Almost all were men. So if you think men don't care, you are so wrong. Men do care, and men do love, and men suffer in silence, and half the time you will never know how much they care. And they'll walk away with a stiff upper lip and make you think that they didn't care and you don't know what's going on, but I'm the one that deals with them on the side. So thank you, Gwyneth, for your absolutely beautiful, generous donation, and thank you for letting me know that I helped you. That makes me very, very happy. That's a good birthday gift. Thank you. Okay, so are we clear that only those who trust themselves can take the ride? You don't get strong by never falling down. You get strong by falling down and bringing yourself back up again. What happens is, it's like, I remember, okay, so I grew up in Minnesota. We don't have mountains. We have like little moguls, bunny hills, right? And so my school went on a skiing day. And my roommate, okay, she was a little heavy. She sat down on the T-bar thing. She sat down. Everybody all the way up the little hill. They came all down like this. It was a disaster. But we'd never skied before. And, you fall down, right? You fall down, you get back up. You fall down, you get back up. Anybody who does any process, they will find themselves, getting their balance. And we do the same in relationships. But here's the nice thing. Though the factors change because we have different people that we're interacting with, we have one constant that is going to serve us well, and that is ourselves. And the more we do this, the more we get to know ourselves, the more we get to trust ourselves, the more we get to practice how we show up. And the purpose of all these live chats and all the videos I share with you is to make you a better dater and a better partner, to give you the strength and the confidence to know where your truth lies and to share that truth with another person and to not be ashamed of it. You know, I like certain things. I mean, I have these weird quirks about me. I have a sweet tooth. Okay, so I remember being in Germany and they have these little square brown, you Europeans will know, these little brown chocolates. They're not chocolate, they're sugar cubes, right? I used to take them off of every table. I used to handpick through everything and go get the brown ones. Then after a trip of being abroad, I thought, I wonder why I'm feeling a little bit heavier. I never got it. That's a quirk. You'll see me do that. Sometimes I eat things. If you bring me a bowl of those little sugar cubes with my coffee and you're sitting on a date with me, you will see me eat every one of those in front of you. That's one of the many bizarre things I have. I mean, I have a ton of them. You know, it's not life-shattering. It's not, I don't think it's a deal breaker. It's a peculiarity, but we all have our stuff. And, you know, I'm just sharing that with you because I can be vulnerable with this audience. You know, I think that, you know, so there's a philosophy that the more a coach shares with you personally, the more there is to dislike. And honestly, for me, my preference would be, I would like to really know who that person is talking to me so I can assess whether I want to listen to them or not. I don't want the prepackaged, aren't I so fabulous? Aren't I dynamic? I'm always confident. Look at me, I'm amazing. That's not real. That's not true. That's not how people work. So, okay, on to you. I'm going to keep reading anything that you have for me here. Okay, so what is this? Ben, Minneapolis. From Susan St. Paul. Let's see. Is there a fine line between being vulnerable and not caring at all what others think of us? Happy birthday. Thank you, dear. No, they're very different things. It's not a fine line. It's a chasm. So being vulnerable and not caring what others think of us at all. I hear people say that they don't care what other people think. And I know the only way to get there is that you have had so many people pick at you and destroy you that you have become immune to it out of necessity. People always care what other people think. We're humans, and it's encoded within us. So the people who protest or who make a big fuss telling you that they don't care what other people think, they're really wrong. It is the ultimate freedom if we can get there, but not all of us can do it. I would prefer to be liked. I would prefer to be adored, not just liked, adored. I'm being honest. So am I going to be? Not by everybody, unfortunately. And neither will you. But we all do care. Now, being vulnerable means that I do care what you think. If I'm really vulnerable in the classic sense of the term, without power. So vulnerable in its truest definition is weak. Vulnerable means, you know, easily overtaken. That's what the word technically means. When you apply it to a relationship, this is why we get confused. There's the classic meaning, and then there's the modern day twist on the need to show up and be present. That's all we're talking about. I hope that answered what you're saying. Thank you for the happy birthday, and it's a chasm. It's a world of difference between being vulnerable and not caring what others think of us. Okay, let's see, what else do we have here? Nora Ann, $9.99 for nothing. Thank you. That's very sweet of you. I do appreciate that. Okay, so Megan says, I was vulnerable, then he cheated on me. What does that say about me or him? Well, now, there might have been a comment in front of this, but I don't know exactly what you mean by vulnerable. Do you mean you cared for him? Because that's just a part of being in a relationship, or that's a part of dating. That's not a deficit. You guys, you're not going to be able to feel anything if you don't let yourself feel. You do understand that, right? That's why we go through this. Valerie, $5. Looks like Nika. Looks like a little Nika. Thank you very much, my dear. I think that was for nothing. I think that was just a thank you. So do you understand this? Okay. Those of you who have loved and loved way over the edge of where you should have loved, in that delicious torment, in that exquisite pain, did you not feel so much? Did you not have a portal open inside you that was just like, oh. Okay, it was excessive, it was out of control, and it was not the right person. And pain was the end result. But you were alive and you felt. So this is the inherent risk in love. We allow ourselves to feel because that's for us. That's not for them. That's for us. I can't tell you, well, I've got all these speeches with men. It's terrible. But as a matter of fact, he just called me today to wish me happy birthday. We're going to talk later. But an ex of mine, when I first met him, he was a control freak, of course. And I didn't want to be in a relationship. He didn't want to be in a relationship. I was trying to train myself to be something else. Well, surprise, surprise, I'm a relationship girl, can't do anything else. And I said to him, I intend to feel love for you. And I'm really sorry if that disturbs you, but do me a favor, don't edit me. Do not edit my experience. I want to feel. You don't have to feel the same way. It'd be great if you did. You're not required to. I'm not going to burn your clothes on the lawn. I'm not going to slash the tires on your car. I'm not cray-cray. I'm not going to go on social media and attack you and do character defamation. I choose to feel as much for you as possible. That is for me. You're the beneficiary, but I'm the one that wants to feel because I want to show up and I want to feel. Do not take that from me. Just because you can't feel, don't edit my feelings. But that's what I really feel. Don't get in my way. I'm on a ride. I want to enjoy this. I want to feel my feelings. I want to feel excitement. I can handle the down. Believe me, I'm good at this. I can get up. I can jump off a cliff, crash, and nothing I like better than my friends go, oh my God, did she splat this time? Oh God, why does she keep doing that? I get back up. I'm okay. I'm okay. Next time I'll judge a little bit better, but I don't mind so much anymore. You guys, it's life. Get over it. It's life. What are you going to do? You're going to take your last breath and go, oh, well, at least I was safe. I never had heartache. What are you doing? You'll never know the exquisite joy. You got to risk it to get in the game, but we are thoughtful and we respect ourselves. We're not vulnerable to the point that we throw ourselves at somebody that's an obvious, that would be peril for us, but we pick and choose the risk we want to take. And at certain times in your life, you're just going to want to get on the ride and you're going to pick the worst person possible. And many of you writing me going, I can't believe they did this. Did you not choose to get on the ride? And you had a bump. And you had a terrible experience. And I know what that feels. I am not minimizing it. I know what that feels like. Believe me. But you will get up again. And it doesn't mean because one person cheated that everyone will cheat. It doesn't mean that. There are good people out here. And you will judge more carefully. But let's look at what did work. Didn't you get to feel some excitement? Didn't you get to feel connection? Didn't you enjoy feeling your ability to love? Your ability to love. That's what this is all about. You being able to feel the love that you have inside. That's the sweet stuff. Okay, so let me see what else we have here. Okay, thank you, Nora Ann, and thank you, Valerie. Wine Love. Question, Susan. I was vulnerable with my friends after a breakup. I overshared my failed relationship. Been there, done that. And now I feel like I overshared. I feel judged now because that crazy ex. I feel ashamed. Help. Okay. You're going to do the same thing you did to fix it. You are going to overshare your new perspective. I'd like you to go back to your friends, say, you guys, thank you so much for being willing to listen to me. You know, it's a process. First, I was pissed. Now I'm pissed at myself. But you know what? I look at it now and, hey, I got in the game. You know, I'm actually kind of proud of myself. It's not about the outcome. It's about what I did in the process. And you know what? I made a choice. I took the leap. I crashed. I survived. Next, you can fix it the same way you got into trouble. Just repeat the system and give it a different spin. You got your own whole PR agency going on here, okay? All right, let's see, what else do we have here? Ben, Minneapolis. Okay. Oh, Ben, thank you, my darling. $5. Okay, to be vulnerable, do we need to actively sell our package versus our partner having independent interests in us? Does being passive work? Passive does not work. Give that up. Sell our package. So this worries me a little bit. I want to kind of get in here and tweak your mind. You don't need to sell yourself. You're working way too hard if you're trying to sell yourself. I would rather you be yourself, if you know what I mean by that. We want to put our best foot forward, and of course we want to be alluring and charming. But if you have to oversell yourself, and this whole thing about having independent interest in us versus our partner having, I would rather they independently have interest in you. I sell myself. I make sure while I'm doing my press release that I give some good things. I also put in some self-effacing things, as I do with all of you. I don't try and pretend I'm perfect. I know I'm not. I like to be, but I'm not. So, why don't you find the things that excite you about yourself? Do a little homework assignment for me. Find a couple of qualities that you esteem within yourself. And I want you to focus on those. Like, if you respect your character, if you respect the fact that you're a decent guy, if you respect the fact that you're ambitious, if you respect the fact that you're loyal, if you respect the fact that you're adventurous, that you take risks, whatever it is, that you're a great athlete, whatever it is that you respect about yourself, I'd like you to think about that and just put those in your mind and kind of review them before you see your date or your partner next time. Don't say a thing. Just keep it in your mind. I'd like you to be filled with your own sense of confidence and then just interact from that point. Part of being alluring and charming, you guys, is actually being interested in learning who your partner is. People love to talk about themselves. And if you can get them to talk about themselves and their interests and actually explore who they are and have an organic conversation that way, that's brilliant. They will feel that they've had the best conversation in the world. Okay, Keith. Oh, Keith, hello. How are you, my dear? Okay, $10. Thank you. You are so generous. Keith is absolutely wonderful. He was one of our contestants in the Best Worst Date contest, and all the women wanted to vote for everybody else to keep Keith for themselves. Keith, my darling, happy birthday. I was a day off. I thought it was tomorrow. You are correct. It is tomorrow. Thank you. Stay tuned. Just tuned in to say thank you so much for being such a positive part of my life over the years. I value our friendship so much. Thank you. Keith, I met, oh my God, maybe not 20 years ago, maybe 15 years ago. And I was with a girlfriend bodybuilder, and we went to go buy some sneakers for her. And I still had a car, and I drove into New Jersey, and we bought some sneakers, and Keith had like 15 jobs. He had like 3 jobs and already had a condo and was putting himself through college. I mean, the most ambitious guy I've ever met. We found him so fascinating. Susie took him to lunch, and we've been friends ever since. And I hear all about his dating life, and I hear about his romances. And so I really was excited when I saw his video come through, because I know some of the stories he's gone through. Thank you, my dear. It's great to have you. I can't believe you probably have like 2 minutes in between all of your appointments. So there are some very successful young men, ladies, Not everybody is just hanging out looking for a woman to achieve for them. There are people like Keith who are self-starters and incredibly ambitious and runs 100 miles a minute. So thank you, my dear. I do appreciate this. Thank you. And we'll talk soon, okay? Let's see. Okay, wait, hang on. There's something else. Mystery Inc. Hi, £5. Thank you, Mystery Inc. You're not inked, girl, are you? I don't know who you are, but I thank you so much for the £5. So Wine Love, you know what to do. You're going to repeat everything that you did to look vulnerable to your friends, and you're going to now give them your new perspective. Okay. Malika. Oh, I said that right. Susan, you say it's going to get better, easier. I'll be more resilient. But for me, it's so much worse over the years. As I get older, it hurts more. Am I the only one? No, of course not. Sometimes I can only do so much in this formula. If there's something you want to work on with me, I'd love to open it up and roll up my sleeves and get involved in it. If we have had compounded loss, and it seems to me just intuitively like you've had a lot of things that have happened that have been hurtful in your life, and on top of that rides your relationships. And if you live in an environment or a situation where there's a lot that's going on that is painful, difficult, whatever we're experiencing emotionally is even more profound and more potent. So it can taint our view of life in general. I don't know your situation. And in order to really help you, I would like to really work with you. So please consider that. You know, there are all different kinds of packages. Okay. Love to help you. It doesn't always get worse as you get older. Sometimes people just get tired of the nonsense. If you're tired of the nonsense, take a break, invest in yourself, go find things that make you happy. Just make yourself happy. Indulge in happy, happy, happy. Okay? Passions, joys. Thomas dances. Okay? He does a phenomenal job. Lots of people discover painting. And you guys that from the UK, Saskia Nelson, you know, Hey Saturday, and she's also got Hey Tuesday. So she's staying in Spain during this time of COVID. She and Giles are in Spain, and she started painting. Got fabulous paintings. You know, express yourself. Find things that give you joy. Don't look for all your joy in one human being. To be honest with you, you guys, that's a non-reality. We've got to be happy within ourselves. We've got to be happy generally with life. And we have to have our basket filled around us, friends, family, pets, things that make us happy, because to put all of that on one person, to saddle one person with the burden of making us feel good day in and day out is impossible. Then we become vulnerable in the classic weak definition to their abuse, okay? The only times I have really, really been dismantled by a person were times that I had no family, no friends, and I mean, I'd moved to an area where I was in love with a man 20 years younger, and the people who were my friends were colleagues that liked the button up, you know, collars up to here, little chopped haircut, you know, skirts down to my financial services people, and didn't understand what I was doing and didn't want to have anything to do with me. I wasn't socially correct. It's hard being 20 years ahead of your time, right? So now it's a nothing. Now it's a nothing. Now having a young man is like bragging rights, but at the time it destroyed careers. So we can't look to that person as being our everything, because if they fail us, so this is why we try to support ourselves at all times and learn what we need to have to support ourselves, so that when we go out dating, we have a better chance at having resilience, right? Okay. So thank you, Mr. Inc. Let's see what else. Keith M. Where's Bugs Bunny? That's a cute name. Did I miss this? Bugs Bunny. My ex asked me if I'd be okay with her having guys as friends in the future. Was unsupportive, ignored, never complimented. She hurt me so bad. How can I confirm myself that I left for good? I mean, are you saying, okay, let me understand. With all that you have to say that you didn't get, are you trying to find a reason to leave? Because it's right there. I don't know why your ex is asking you if she can have friends. Of course she can have friends. She's your ex. You guys, it's really important to be able to extricate ourselves from a love that has passed and died. If somebody has hurt you, you start to move away. If a love has ended, you need to package it, process it, and move forward. It is staying stuck that is the most excruciating pain. You must move. You have to move. You have to get up and move forward, or the pain is horrific. Okay, let me keep reading your questions. What else do we have here? Thank you, everyone. Let's see. Okay, Ronnie. While being vulnerable, how do you deal with people who you thought you trusted at the time, but then end up gaslighting you and your emotions? Thank you. Well, you get rid of them. Okay. Again, you guys, there is really valuable information in reviewing what happened. When you see something like this, you trusted somebody, they go complete narcissist on you, they go completely crazy, they gaslight, they do all these things. This is like, wow, never saw that coming. Take a moment, review the arc of everything that happened. What were the red flags? What were the beginnings? Where did the leaves start to rustle and then the branch broke? This is what I want you to backtrack and find. Review, how did you handle it? What did you say? Or did you not speak up? Did you speak up, but you wish you'd done it this way? So in retrospect, when you have left any relationship, painful or good, I want you to do the work of the review. It's so important. I did this instinctively. I never thought I'd be in this career. Believe me, this is an unexpected career. I always did it because I wanted to know where I could do a better job. I used every relationship to inform me about how to be better prepared for the next. And I think that's really important work. So worry less about all this stuff. Go and do your review work. Your review work will give you the information you need. Now you've made that relationship beneficial. Now you have information that you can use moving forward. Now you won't be confused. You won't be blindsided. When you see this, this, and this action, you'll go, oh, wait a minute. I know what that is. That's right before they gaslighted me. Oh, I've seen this. You guys, it's patterns. Human behavior is observing the patterns. People have patterns. Types of people have patterns. And once you start decoding these patterns, you are going to be able to help yourself to be resilient because you're going to catch it before it happens again. Okay, we have something else here. Stacy S, $4.99. Thank you, my dear. I'm dating a guy 14 years younger. Whoa, okay. He texts me every morning and every night, but he doesn't ask me out, so I have to initiate dates. Okay, you look about 12, so he's very young. May I remind you that guys do not know how to pursue? May I remind you that there are adult men that have seen the template of courting that still don't know how to court? He is not getting any instruction from his guy buddies. And you are going to have to start to tell him, because it's your responsibility. Say, baby, I'd like you to ask me out on a proper date. But he doesn't know how to do this. I don't want all the burden to be on you. But in the beginning, and this goes for anything, same age, different ages, you have to explain to your partner what you want and need. And sometimes you have to explain to them how to work with you. So, Stacy, okay, he doesn't ask me out, so I have to initiate dates. I'd like you to tell him, honey, I love talking to you, and I am so grateful for you texting me in the morning and night. Okay, so reaffirm what he's done well. Then you say, and I love seeing you. Now, I'm the one who always asks to ask you out. I know you want to see me. I want to see you. I need you to tell me. I need you to step up. It makes me happy when you ask me out. It makes me feel good the same way the texts do. I want to know that you want to see me Friday night. Otherwise, I feel kind of creepy. I feel like I'm like always asking you. And can you do that for me? It would mean the world to me. And give him a concrete example. Do not be philosophical with men. Speak concretely, simply, and precisely. For example, on Thursday, I'd love to have you say to me, baby, what are you doing Saturday night? Let's do something together. Or Friday night. Can I see you Friday night? I would love that. It would make me so happy. Okay? Try that. Let me know how that works for you. Stacy, thank you for that. Joanna, 10 pounds. Thank you, my dear. What if you are vulnerable with the wrong, unemotionally available guys? Normally, that's the way it turns out. Not to worry. This is classic. Okay. You end up hurt, unable to move on while they move on unscathed. Okay. Now, let us do the review. What have you learned? First of all, thank you. Thank you for the contribution. What have you learned? You've learned that you're not safe with unavailable men. Let's backtrack psychologically. Let's go back in the history of when you dated them. Did they tell you, I don't do relationships? Have they ever had a relationship? Did they tell you I'm in love and I'm never going to fall in love again? Did they say, I'm just having a good time? What was the agreement? What did you have? What was the information? Because you ended up feeling something for someone that had no intention of feeling it for you. That's okay. I love the fact that you were able to feel and that you got out there, but we want to, now that you've had this experience, we want to measure it and do it properly. So where could you have discovered this earlier in the process before you got deeper and deeper? Okay? And could you have corrected it? Could you have said something? Could they have said something? Could you have asked them a question about their intention? Could you have said something like, "What I like you. What's the thing here? What are we doing? Just you tell me." So I think I would like to have you backtrack. Do you understand what I mean by that? And that will help you so that now you can move on unscathed. He's unscathed because he was playing. You weren't. So, oh, by the way, most of you have to learn this. It's a very uncomfortable truth. If you are healthy and you are integrated, you are going to feel. Don't think you can have an emotional and sexual experience and just walk away unscathed. That is for people who are separated and disconnected from themselves. The more integrated you are, the harder it is to do that. So what bothers you now is actually that you're healthy. I've been there, believe me. I've had to accept my disposition and accept my truth. I don't like it. It would be so much more convenient if I were not this way, but I am. So now I learn to work with it. And Nika is back. Hi. Did you have fun? Hi, let's see. Teacher, there's Nika. Nika went for a 2-hour walk outside because I'm busy with everybody else. Nika, the wonder dog. And when she wants my attention when I'm on the phone, she just bats it when I'm trying to respond to Instagram. Okay, let's see what else do we have here. Okay, that was, she loved me for a minute. Now you're done with me. Okay, but I can survive because I have resilience. Okay, Ben, Minneapolis, big contributor today. Thank you, $5. Men versus women. Should men really be open with feelings so soon? Very good question. Shouldn't the pace of the woman's intimacy dictate what is shared, per my experiences? Okay. Very good. You are recalibrating yourself. This sounds far more personalized than generalized. If you're writing this, you have had this observation, and good on you. Maybe you give too much too soon. Many of my guys do. I just had a client who recently gave, if he likes somebody, he overgives. Many people, now I remember, because they're clear. There are a lot of guys, even like Keith. Keith is a romantic. Keith has money. Keith is generous. And he gets frustrated if he can't demonstrate that to a girl, because he courts and he knows how to date. And so that's frustrating to him if he can't do that, because, oh, I can't accept it. I don't know. I can't accept it. What does this mean? So for you, you need to pace yourself. If it has been your experience that you give too much too soon, and then you feel vulnerable because you know that you've overstepped where she is, two things. One, you're either giving too much too soon, or two, you're picking people that are unable to receive and aren't locked and loaded and ready for a relationship. So, Ben, if you're chronically on this station, and you have been, I think that means you want a relationship. And if you know you want a relationship, my best advice to you is to try to sift through the prospective dating partners that you have and look for somebody who has had a track record of loving, who has a skill set for being in a partnership, who can communicate honestly, who doesn't have game, who seems fairly authentic and straightforward, and can tell you things as simple as, that hurts. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I like you, but I don't like this. I mean, sometimes speaking as simply as that for where you are is really good to offset the other stuff. Being vulnerable, I think, I want to get back to this. Should men really be open with feelings too soon? I personally think it's very powerful to give affirmative words of liking somebody. There's nothing wrong with that. Doesn't mean I'm going to marry you, doesn't mean this is forever. If you say, I really enjoy seeing you, I like you. There's a lot to like here. I very much enjoy spending time with you. Now, I worry that maybe you build a dream around these people, maybe that you fall too soon. I don't know the specifics, and if I did, I could counsel you better. It takes a lot of guessing when you see a couple sentences on these super chats. But I don't think there's any. I think it's very powerful to admit that you like somebody. But I also think you have to figure out who are you saying it to, and can they absorb it? A lot of people are terrified. I don't even know why they're dating. They're so terrified to date. They're so terrified to feel. Ben, thank you very much. Let's see, what else do we have? Let's see, Thomas Sully. Okay, you guys are talking to each other. Let's see. Okay, you guys are talking to each other. I'm glad you're talking to Thomas Sally, very, very bright man. I overgive, but he missed the message. He drank wine. I don't know what that's talking about. Okay, so you guys understand? Susan, what is the thought behind a man buying pets? Chameleon, cat, turtle during COVID. It's my male BFF in rebound marriage and buying all these pets when he should be enjoying newlywed life. I have no idea. Honey, I have no idea, unless he's making a home. Maybe that's his version of making, instead of babies, making a nest, making a family. Let's see what we've got here. Joui Noel. Okay, $10. I probably bastardized your name. Forgive me. Hello, Susan. I have to see my ex every day at work. Oh, God. I've done videos on that. Okay. Is it better to have a shield for my vulnerability, or is it better to feel everything even if I'm a mess all day? It's so hard. Okay, we have to move you forward. You can't be a gaping wound and see this person. There is mental work. I beg you, take a look at Breakup Triage, The Cure for Heartache, my audio booklet. If you do Audible, it's free. I think maximum they charge you is 99 cents. Take a look at that. Go through the 7 steps. If you've got to see your partner, your ex, every single day, you have got to get to the other side of this. You need counseling. You need help, because you're still in the pain, and we got to move you forward. In this case, you do not want to feel trauma every day. You need to manage your life at work. I also urge you to, I forgot the name of the video, like 525 of them, but it's something like breakups where you are required to see your ex, or where you see your ex regularly. Take a look at that one, because it is very hard to heal when you were the dumpy and you must see your ex and you still love them, okay? There's a lot of work that has to be done. You have to do work privately. I'm happy to work with you, susanwinter.net. Please take a look at this. I want to help you, and you have to do some work, okay? Shouldn't hurt that much. All right, so you understand, Julie Noel? I hope you understand that. It's because we don't want you to be a mess all day. So the answer is no, it is not better to be vulnerable and be crying and being a mess all day. It is good to be functional at work. We have to fix where you are. I'll go through the first few steps of the breakup. One, you have to, step one, give it a sentence. What happened? Do you know why they broke up with you? If they didn't tell you and you don't know, you got to make it up yourself. They cheated on you. You grew apart. They can't commit. They're a sex addict. They're an alcoholic. They've got issues. They're not over their ex, whatever it is. You have to give it a label to give it context. Then you have to move on to deconstructing your partner and taking them off the pedestal. They still bother you because you think there's something of value that you lost. And we have to assess fully what you gained and what you've lost. If the person didn't work out, did they work out for a while? If so, all relationships have value if they had value in their time. They're not all meant to last forever. If there's a relationship that ended, it's because you've come to a new version of yourself. You are escalating upwards and you are spiraling to the point that you need to meet another resonant person who is now where you are. Okay, so we can't always, grabbing onto what left is oftentimes short-sighted in the arc of our own personal evolution. Sometimes we have to go with it and understand that that person was a catalyst to drive us to the location that we are now, and where we are now is the place where we are meant to intersect with somebody else who may be the person that we spend the rest of our days with, or maybe another person that spirals us forward to another. We don't know. Each person is different. It isn't about the finality of one individual. It is about our growth, participating honestly, and doing our best job to evolve as ourselves. Okay? So thank you very much for that. Well, we've gone pretty far into this. Let's see. Jenny A., I'm currently vulnerable enough to overthink and overanalyze everything due to being cheated on and hurt in the past. Okay, one day I feel I should be open, then I feel my secrets would be used against me. Jenny, you had a bad experience. Not everybody's going to do that to you. Not everybody's going to do it to you. You know, they're just not. We're going to choose carefully. We cannot look at the entire dating market and cast all men or all women in light of the one or two bad ones. If you find, here's some really good work you guys can do. I'd like you to take a look at everybody everybody you've had a relationship with, or even just the people who've broken your heart. The people that have broken your heart, abused you, used you. I want you to put them on a sheet of paper and look for every quality that they have that is similar. What did they all have in common? What are the three characteristics just off the top of your head? Don't think, don't edit, don't overanalyze, just boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Were they all charismatic? Were they all self-involved? In the beginning, did they shine the light on you like a player and make you feel fabulous? And at the end of the day, you realized they were only hooking you for themselves, playing you? I want you to look for the commonality, because you need to start to understand the architecture of what you've been involved in. You need to learn what the patterns are. You need to escape your own patterns, your own defaults. You need to go back and learn, where could I have picked this up sooner? Geez, it was October. She told me that. I just didn't want to hear it. I kind of blew it off. I thought maybe it was temporary. So this is the work that we do to get up to speed. This is how we protect ourselves from being needlessly vulnerable. Okay? Now let's see. Any other questions? How can I forget my crush, which is my neighbor? Again, you can't get away from them. I am so busy. I'm a medical student, but I'm so unfocused. I can't talk to him due to the traditions. I don't have time to think. Crushing for 10 months. Just put it aside, okay? I take a look at Breakup Triage. This is not, you guys, I'm not trying to sell books. I'm lucky if I make 4 cents on this thing. But it's really good material, and it's the fastest way I can explain this to you. It's on Amazon and Audible. Breakup Triage, The Cure for Heartache. I had to write a Kindle version in order to do the audio booklet, but the audio booklet's 33 minutes. That tells you how to get out of this deep, the first 24, 48 hours, the first week of breakups, the real emotionally bleeding out. And it's great for those of you that haven't moved forward. Now, I think we're at the end of our hour and 20 minutes. You guys, thank you. I don't know why I couldn't get the chat this morning, but you all found me here, which is excellent. And I really do appreciate it. Jenny A., thank you for your precise, perfect, to-the-point advice. Good. I'm happy that what I said helped you. Cookie Cutter Girl, hi. Vulnerability is having the courage to show up when you can't control the outcome. Yep, there she is. Yeah, Renee Brown. That means an inherent trust in yourself, okay? That means resilience, okay? It's a catchy title. Oh, okay. Oh, Soul Search. Dear Susan, next live show. I saw someone commenting asking how to not compare yourself to your ex's new life and your friend's awesome life on Instagram, Facebook, not to feel worthless. Oh, wow. Social media, you want to feel depressed? Just go open up Instagram and look at everybody's curated lives and tweaked bodies. Do you think every girl has an 18-inch waist? Very good. Comparison. Wow. That's it. I love this topic. Very good. And boundaries. You guys are excellent. Thank you. Thank you for today. Thank you, all of you who contributed with Super Chat. If I missed any of your questions, I will answer it on my page when this gets activated. Thank you all for joining me today. I will be back next week. I think there's only one Thursday I'm not working this year, and that might be New Year's Day, only because I will just be flying into Arizona and probably not going to be set up in time, but you never know. Okay, so we will see you next week, and I will have another topic for you. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for your contributions. SusanWinter.net if you'd like to book a consultation with me. Oh. And tomorrow you will see the winner. We have picked the winner for the best worst date contest, or I should say you guys have picked the winner, and we will announce that. And so thank you, everyone. Mwah, mwah. Thank you. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you for joining me. I adore all of you. Bye-bye, everyone.